Well, hello everyone, this is Bob Martin, the RCSubGuy with the Nautilus Dry Docks, and this channel is all about RC submarines, so hopefully that's why you're here. What we do, we're going to be going through everything that we do this week at the dry docks, and most of it pertains to RC submarines, everything we do right, everything we do wrong, and everything in between. We got a lot to do this week, so let's get started. And it's a new day. It's Monday. Start of a new week. Renee's on a business trip. It's just Logan and I batching it. So we're envisioning a lot of guy movies this week. Progress on A10. It's assembled, bolted together, looking sharp. Before I put the front on, though, I just wanted to show you, made the little battery clip in there. It's going to hold the battery in. Battery's fully charged now. So basically, I'm going to do a test right now. We'll make sure all the functions are working, and then bolt and put, and hopefully later today, lunchtime, after work, I don't know, we're going to throw this thing back in the water, see where the trimmage situation is going to end up. Pulled the old board out, but I put new boards in. It should be pretty close. I think if we need to add some weights, we can do stick-ons underneath the keel there. So let's see how this whole thing is gonna work out. I'm excited. This thing looked badass in the water the other day, so we'll take it from there. So quick function test, making sure everything works. Rudder looked good, but then I noticed right here. You see it's hitting? What I'm going to do, I'm going to move this out, and that is going to actually increase the throw, which is okay right now, but we can get more. We can do more. And then it looks like I reversed these when I put these back together again, because our stern planes have maximum deflection, and our forward planes have just a little bit. So I'm going to swapify that, but we got pumpage, and we have throttleage. So I think once I fix this and this, we'll be in good shape to throw this thing in the water. And here we go, the final assembly of the A10 Subkiller. Boxed up, bundled up, bolted up, ready for the water. With the A10 Subkiller done, ready for the water, we're returning to the Typhoon, and we got some things to talk about. First off, the waterproof box. This was good in theory, and I think I can still make it work, but there are some leakages going on here. Now, whenever you're designing a watertight enclosure, you want the least number of perforations in the hull, but in this particular case, we've got one large one, two large ones, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, plus the lid. Again, I can make it work, and it's a nice, compact, ready-made solution. But I think what I'm going to do is see if I can design a bespoke watertight enclosure for this thing. That will allow me to perfectly align all of the things inside. It won't have the joint on the inside. This will all be integrated inside it. And I can outline all of the internal components in CAD so that it'll all be perfect. And the other thing that'll allow me to do is potentially add a third servo that'll allow us to actuate these. Because on a float, getting it to go from 0 degrees to 100 degrees is challenging. Very challenging. So we'll get that. I'm gonna percolate on that today. I'll see if I can draft something, and then we're gonna take it from there. In the meantime, what I'm doing is I'm working on the ballast tank, because we know that's good. We know the battery's good. We know the pump is good. I've got a really cool watertight remote switch I'm looking forward to giving a shot here. This can live in the wet. go between the battery and the rest of the boat. And then I've got a toggle switch that'll allow us to turn lights on and off in here. He wanted them on 2 channels. I got to reach out to him. I don't even remember why he wanted 2 channels. It's weird to me. But at any rate, let's talk about ballast tank. So it's going to sit right here, just like that. And we need 2 holes in this. One is the vent, and one is the water intake and output right here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to mount this just a couple degrees like this, so that when the boat is level, the air bubble that forms is right where the vent is. So all the air will go up. There'll be no bubbles trapped inside. And when the water is being pumped out, it'll gather in this corner, which is going to be where this is. So this is going to get installed at 45 degrees because I've got to bypass this lip here. And it'll go in there, and this will be kind of flush, you know, to the bottom like that. And then glue seal, and yeah, that'll be the ballast tank. And I think what I'll do, I'll put a couple dabs of RTV to secure it in place, and then that way, if that ever needs to be removed, it can be pried out fairly easily. All right, tank is mounted. Tabs are in, or the nipples, I guess you call them, are in. And you can see that little bit of a slope in there. Nice, like it. This is the other thing I've been working on. Before I do, did I ever mention I hate small boats? And I know some of you are saying, oh, it's almost 3 feet long. That's not tiny. I built one the size of my fingernail. Good for you. I just don't like fiddly little tiny boats. That's just what I needed to get off my chest. But I still managed to do something pretty cool. Let's take a look. Red October had magneto-electro-hydrodynamic propulsions. It suck water in and use those magnets to propulse forward silently. There's our hatches. And check this out. So the idea, if we take a look on the inside here, I got a little arm, and that'll be connected to a rubber band that will keep just a tiny little bit of pressure, just a little bit, to keep it closed. And then what I've got are these things. These are going to be enclosures for the inside, and there's a lid for it too, with the idea being that the water pump, when it kicks in, will pressurize this little compartment and blow out the back. That's the idea. Anyway, I don't know how far, but it'll still be good. And what I'm thinking is I'm going to tie in some blue LEDs into the pump unit here, and then when the magneto-hydrodynamic propulsion kicks in, you'll see blue light coming out the back, which was kind of like from the movie, right? Although, well, maybe it wasn't blue, it was kind of more white, but it'll be blue in this case, out the back. This is a good opportunity to talk about focusing on things that make sense for the boat. Now, it may be super cool to think, oh, I got magneto-hydrodynamic propulsion for my boat. Who's going to see it? You know, you can tell people, but unless they get in the water, they're never going to see it. The boat's not even going to move as good as it does with the props. So you got to weigh coolness versus work versus time versus cost. I'm just saying. Customer decided this was worth doing. I've never done it before. Let's give it a try. Sure. Getting this to fit, because I designed it for my big 72nd Typhoon, which is also going to be Red October. Shrinking that down to 1/200th scale meant all the tolerances are messed up, especially in the hinges. It literally took me 45 minutes of massaging and filing and grinding to get this to where it is now, but so be it. So Logan's here working on our big our big drills over there, which is a big project, and we need to get done because we need the money, to be quite frank. But before we take off to get back to work, big shout out to Jason, who did a donation for me. I promised I would do shout out, so shout out to Jason. Thanks for your support, man. It's really appreciated. All right, boys and girls, it's after work, like 4:30, and I'm in the shop, and I am absolutely not drinking an alcoholic beverage. This is apple juice. And the reason I'm drinking apple juice is because this crazy boat is acting up on me again. Let me show you what it's doing. Fire it up! Fire it up! Okay, everything's cool. Check out the BLM. I got full control. Everything is good. Everything is good. Everything's still good. What's going on? I have no pump. I hear a thump thump. I can hear the solenoid opening. But the pump is not going. What's it doing? I don't know. I don't know. We've got controlages. But the pump is not pumpifying. It's just, I can just hear it like electronics. Just like doing, I don't know, doing nothing. And this means, yeah. Disassembling this thing again for the 85th time. All right. I mean, hey, Renee's gone. I don't have anything better to do with my time than work, in the shop until midnight. But what it was doing was something different. It was waiting about 3 seconds, which is the time delay on the BLM, and then kicking the pump on for 10 seconds, and then shutting everything down. But now it's not even doing that. So there you go. All right, first order of business. Verify we got power going to full power going to the unit. So power up. 13 voltages. 13 voltages. That is a fully charged nickel metal hydride battery pack. Okay, what we got to do is I'm going to fire it up and we're going to probe the leads on the pump. When I try and kick the pump on, I'm going to see how many voltages that thing may or may not be getting. Just jam these probes in here, make sure and short everything out. That would be good. 10 volts to the pump, minus 10 volts to the pump. At 10 volts to the pump, that pump should be going. And again, now the BLM's working fine. Did the pump stall out? Maybe disconnect the pump and make sure that the solenoid's getting voltages. Maybe the pump ceased. That would be fine. Oh, the pump is hot. We have a hot pump. And I just pulled the wires right out of the connector, so that's always a good thing too. Are you happy now? No pump? Are you happy with no pump? Let's try the solenoid. Shush! You'll be okay until we're done with our diagnostification. 13 volts to the solenoid. So it's our pump. Pump is free-jazzled. This is the second pump. These orange pumps, I guess. I don't know. I got a little black pump. We're going to put the little black pump in. You orange pumps have had your chance, and your chance is over. So now we just need to put the black pump in and retrim everything because it's going to weigh a different amount. Great. All right, the pumpifier has been switched out. We've now got a black pumpifier. I'm gonna have to tidy up some of this hosing because I'm worried about kinking and stuff. But we're just function testing here right now, people. But I want you to see what it's doing up front here. Power. This immediately went 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that was the BLM doing BLM things. But what I'm going to do is disconnect this and finish my apple juice and hope that Kevin gets back to me sometime tonight, because this is a major issue. If it's a problem, we're going to do away with the fail-safe functionality. We're just going to go straight into the receiver, and it'll be perfectly fine. And the reason I'm saying this, guys, the fail-safe, this is a pool boat, right? It's a swimming pool boat. If it something happens and it goes down to the bottom, then it's on the bottom, and you get your pool skimmer and you get it out. It's not a problem. I think we'll be able to figure it out with Kevin's help. We'll figure out a workaround for this. But in the meantime, it's just going to sit right here in this state of disembowelment, and we'll pick this up in the morning for a very, very brief work morning, because Tuesday, workout day tomorrow. All right, well, that's that for that. I think the issue with this is with that fail-safe running it dry. I think it seized. It's not the pump's fault. It was being run dry. You never ever run a gear pump dry, people. You always have fluid going through it. It needs it to lubricate the seals. Poor little thing. All right. Catch you in the mañana. All right. It's the next morning, and I was in the shop early before my workout, and I think we figured out what the problem was. The receiver in here, the BLM kept blowing failsafe, and the servos wouldn't come on, or sometimes when they would come on, they would just be like, I ran power directly to the receiver, thinking maybe it was the BEC in here. But even with an auxiliary power going to the receiver, if I had to wiggle and jostle and poke in order for it to go through. When it worked perfectly. But I think the power bus on this old, stupid, low-frequency radio is shot. So I'm done with it. We're yanking it. We're putting in a 900 megahertz brand new radio. That'll do away with the need for BLM. And we can program all the fail-safe functionality and everything into it, and give us all sorts of control over what this thing does and when and how and all of that cool stuff. So literally everything in this boat is brand new except like the bag. Everything else is brand new. The speed controller, well, no, except for the servos. The servos are still the original ones. Oh man, I'm gonna lose my shirt on this boat. I'm really hoping the next two are better. Both were described as perfect condition. We'll see. The other one just got delivered late yesterday. Sitting right there. Logan's going to unpack it for us, and we're going to take a look and see. The other thing I did is printed a new box for Typhoon. And this is it right here. It's going to get glued together, completely bespoke to the purposes for this project. I've got a custom motor mount that just drops in these tabs in here for easy removal. We got a slotted seal situation that's going to be going up on top, and a cap in there that'll allow quick and easy access for inspection and drying out and all of that fun stuff. This unit, by the way, boys and girls, I did something stupid. I made assumptions, and that was dumb. These XT60s and these JST connectors are not sealed. I assumed that these brass parts were basically fused to the plastic housing, but they're not. When I pressure this up, air just comes blowing right out of them, despite the fact I completely sealed the inside. Same thing with the JST. Just air just blows straight through there. So don't like that. I could just swap those out, but I've also got a leak on this center seam here, and it's not worth screwing around. I was hoping these off-the-shelf parts were going to make my life easier, but they really just complicated it. So back to the drawing board. We're making all custom. All custom.
Hello everyone, it's Logan, and I want to show off our new Thunder Tiger. So this just came in yesterday, and I just finished unboxing it. I am trying to remember what plan we had for this one. I don't remember if this is going to be for our little competition, or if this is the one that we are using for our little radial engine World War II fighter conversion. Oh, I think we have a name for what this one is going to be. I think we're going to call it the Helldiver, in honor of the plane, the Helldiver, and also the fact that it's going to be kind of the underwater conversion, similar to our A10 sub-killer, named in honor of the A10 tank killer. But I have high hopes for this one. As long as it works 100% right off the bat, it means we can get straight into the cosmetics, which we have mostly sitting out over here. We've got our divers and our copious amounts of miniguns. I forget how light these guys are after you drill a hole in the bottom, let them actually empty out. There it is. I'm going to go ahead and put the box back together and bring that back upstairs so that we can store it until it's time for us to actually work on it, because the project bench is full. Totally and completely to every little corner full. Took a minute and I swept and vacuumed a bit this morning, so the floor is looking nice. But the table is a mess, and I got to get to fixing that.
All right, Wednesday morning. Logan did a great job transferring over the receiver, which I stole from Typhoon, so now it lives there. Everything is actually way better set up in here now. Went ahead, cleared the old program, put the new program in. We got full control over this. This is ready for reinstallation in the A10. One thing I was thinking, though, with this new radio, we now have the option of just availing ourselves of all of the cool stuff that we can pair with this, including the voltage and current sensor. It literally just plugs in, and you'll get instantaneous readout of the current draw and the battery voltage online. So as you operate, you get all that. You can set warnings and triggers and all sorts of cool things, and literally just plugs in. You do a little programming in here, and away you go. So Logan's going to grab one of those voltage and current sensors for me. I think it's called a VAS40. And we're going to throw it in there. But in the meantime, I can put everything back together again because... Oh, wait, no, I can't. Because I need access to this. Okay. We're stalled. We're stalled on this until that comes. And I got my new watertight box done for Typhoon. I'm actually pretty stoked about this. So, again, ABS... super strong. I did a couple notchies in here. This just drops in like that. And the idea is we're going to have a nice big gasket in here, bolt it down, and we'll see if I can make it so that this will, unbolt and everything. But if not, because there's nothing that needs to be accessed in here on a regular basis because the battery is outside, we can seal this with our TV, and then what I did is I printed a little, see if I can do this one hand, cap, so you can check for water leaks, vent it out and all that stuff. I got a seal inside, so, yeah, I think that's going to work pretty good. The only thing I didn't do was take into account my lip here when I made my motor mount, so I just need to make a little modification, print a new motor mount so that you can with the motors. And then we're going to start putting stuff inside here. That may be a challenge as well. We'll get that figured out. But we got a new servo block that's going to sit inside just like that as well. Should work good. Way more real estate in here, and this will be more buoyant, so we're not setting our rear of our boat really heavy and requiring a lot of foam where there's a lot of stuff we need to work with. So I'm drafting some parts. I figured I'd show it to you, but first of all, big shout out to Andrew that gave me a donation through the donation link. Told you guys I'd give you a shout out. Thank you, Andrew. I really, really appreciate it. And here's the doodleage I've got going on, modifying the motor bulkhead, made a little extension. I'll be able to drop that right down in there, and I got to make a pump splitter adapter majigger thingy and a few other things, but this is just Google SketchUp. This is what I draft my parts in. It's a pretty cool program, and hey, it's free. All right, boys and girls, Thursday, and you know what's on Thursday? It's workout day and it's garbage day. It's good for you to know this. Just gonna muck about with Typhoon here a little bit. So a couple of things I got here. I've got a splitter for the pump, for the hydro propulsion dynamic electric. It's gonna go and then out the back. Yesterday I managed to get the other side in. It's going faster and much better. So that is looking pretty cool. Had to order some new hose because I was out of hose. This is going to go right here because I need to cut this in order to allow the installation of the pump. Bonk, 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 bonk. So I don't want to lose this stabilization. So I made this little cross piece that's going to get glued on here, and then I'm going to cut this, and then that way I don't lose my tolerance for the spacing. What else did I do? Oh, I painted, or I printed new motor bulkhead and new slider clips that are going to go in here. And I also yesterday just threw a bunch of components in here. We got motor electronic speed controllers, pump electronic speed controllers, pump. It's looking good so far. I like this. I like this a lot. So I'm gonna go about cutting the front here, checking this, and then we're gonna move on to some voltage and current sensoring. And here is the battery tray and the pump. This is looking really good. Nice and clean. I like it. I like it a lot. I should really try and figure out a mechanical mounting for this. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, realistically, this pump is going to be perfectly fine. I think a little dollop of RTV on the bulkhead to mount it will keep it in place, and then if it ever needs to be removed, you can peel it out. Yeah, I think that'll work. I think it'll work just fine. All right, let's go talk sub-killers. So these little units, these Fast 40s, are voltage and current sensors. And all we're going to do for installation is we're just going to take our supplied cable, plug it into either one of the ports on the top, and then this goes in line with your power past the switch. Otherwise it'd be on all the time. This is the boat side. This is the switch side. Oh no! Oh no! This is not long enough. Dang it. Take two. And then it says battery on one side, boat on the other. Plug in the boat, plug in the battery. That's going to sit just like this in here somehow. We'll get to that. And we're going to take the lead and we're going to plug it into an open port on the radio receiver. Just like that. Power on our radio.
Welcome to Ethos. Switch warning.
And now what we're going to do is go into our radio options. And we're going to set... Oh, we should turn up our power here. There we go. Pick the receiver. Oh, I guess we gotta turn it on. So this is the receiver settings. We're gonna go down to pin 6, and then we're gonna scroll all the way down, and we're gonna select pin 6 as S bus. Now we can go into telemetry and discover sensors. And with that, it's Friday. I'm excited. We got a longer shop day today, and we're finally going to get the A10 back assembled again. And I'm also excited because my good friend Subed Tortle is going to be showing up here this afternoon. We're going to have a blast. We're going to get the A10 tuned up, the Virginia set to go, get the vehicle loaded, because we're heading out to Sylvan Rodriguez Park in downtown Houston tomorrow to run some boats. Let's take a look at the A10. So, current sensor is in place. You know, the only thing I don't like about these things is, man, they are long. They're really long. But, you know, it fits in here. And they do have 90-degree fittings. I think I actually ordered a few of these. That would make this significantly shorter. Those fittings aren't here yet. This is fine. It fits. Again, the important thing when you run this boat is when you're done, disconnect the battery. Because this switch is going to just suckle a little bit of power. We're going to put this all back together again here right now. Do a final function test, and then we'll be ready to show Ed what it looks like. We'll throw this in the top secret test facility today. Do final trimming, and off to the races. Morning. It's 5:15. We've been in here for about 15 minutes. Well, Logan's been in here for 15 minutes. And we're tidying things up, cleaning things off, because we need to get Virginia back on here. Get it set up and ready for a quick dunk in top secret test facility. Make sure the batteries are charged up. A10 is put together, and function test is looking good. We got rudders, we got dive planes, we've got throttle, and we've got pump. And I got that on a switch now, which is nice. What I might do is just make a timer and have it set off so that when you flick the switch, you know, there's a way. I got to figure out how to do it so that when you flick the switch, it'll only run for whatever we decide it's going to run for. In this case, say, for example, when it's filling, maybe it only runs for 6 or 7 seconds and then shuts off. And then likewise, when it empties, it'll just run for that amount of time. I'll talk to Ed about that today when he comes. I've never messed with it. But the current sensor is set up. I just haven't got the display configured on the screen yet. Big thing, just got to make sure that this is functional. So, finished putting this together. It should be fine to just keep this hooked up until Ed shows up. And then we'll just drop it in the pool and make sure the trim's good. See what it does in the open water. So, I made a boo-boo. It's not insurmountable, but it's a pain in the butt that I made it. And this is what happens when you hurry. So, this is super cool. I remember I was telling you I had to modify this a bit, and this was going to go here, and the motors were going to go here, and that was super cool. But these are rear mount motors. And the way this is set up, it won't fit in there, especially when you start putting couplers. So, not a big deal. I will reprint this to make a little U, and then that'll put these here, couplers go there, and we'll be back in fighting trim by end of this morning. I also hit the inside of the boat with some red oxide, just to clean things up, make it look nice, you know, cool, clean. Here's our pump splitter. That's going to go on there like that. Goes out and it runs up all along the sides and then doop, doop, right there and there. So that's going to work really good. What I need to do, and actually I could probably do it right now, is rig up the little elastic closure majiggers to keep these closed. And the trick is it's got to be very low tension so that when that water starts pressurizing the little chambers, it does force itself out the back. So yeah, maybe I'll screw around with that while this is all wet and has a good chance to get on my fingers. So you remember I was talking to you a minute ago with the A10 about a 90-degree XT60 connector. They actually came in. They were sitting over there. I don't know. Maybe I unpacked them and forgot to put them away. This is what they look like. It looks like they're designed to flush mount into a board or piece of plastic or, whatever. I mean, I don't see any reason why you couldn't keep them loose. They just got to cut off these little pointy parts on the side that are supposed to stab in and keep it, like rigid. But if we take a look at this, the terminals line up perfectly with the other XT60. So you just solder these together, and now you've got a 90-degree connector for an XT60. Wish I would have found these 15 minutes ago. It would have made my life a little easier for installing that, but that's fine. We got them now, and now you guys know about them. Well, look who it is. It's just pulling up. Sub-Ed Turtle in the flesh. And just like that, the man is here. He texted me. He's like, I'm passing the Loch Ness Monster.
yeah, that dragon thing that's
in Lake Woodlands. Yeah, that's how you know where people are. We have strategization. We need to get some work done this afternoon on a few different things, and then we're going to chill out and relax. And here's the prioritizations. Virginia needs final trim. The A10 sub killer needs Ed's going to help me with some telemetry programming, and we're going to throw this in the big pool. The crow's back. We got to reprogram that for my new radio because I sold my old one that broke at Subfest. That was an expensive little boo-boo. So I just need to repair it and make sure everything works. So we got that. And then we need to potentially take a look at your G5. Top secret G5 project. You guys remember the G5? It was a pretty cool boat. That was a really cool boat. It's like the only boat that I've ever seen that actually looks like a submarine.
Yeah, it is impressive looking, and it's very unique.
And it runs like a bastard. Is this going to be the first trials of the new props?
Of the new props. Okay. Much improved over what was there.
All right.
And bent, whatever they were. All the pitches were different.
Yeah.
Radial diameter of each one was off. But this is 3D designed and printed using propeller software.
There we go. All right. Well, we got some work to do. I just got to figure out where we're going to start. We'll start off with some easy stuff, some radio stuff. That's what we'll do.
He told me to say hello. Say hello to Bob. One of these days I'm going to come down there. Okay.
So we just finished up repairing some damage to the G5?
G5.
Torpedo. Russian torpedo boat. You guys have seen it before. There's no cooler boat. We're going to get this out on the water tomorrow. And I think Ed said he's looking to potentially part with it so he can fund another submarine project.
Even with all the upgrades to it.
Yeah, yep.
It's been some engineering added by Sub-Ed.
So he's got new ABS props in there, a new battery holder, grease ports, all sorts of cool things in this. Tandem receiver, you just need to add a receiver. Transmitter. Transmitter.
That's why. It's hot and sticky here in Houston.
It is.
That's all I got to say.
Hopefully.
I'm loving it, but It's a lot drier up in Dallas.
You missed.
I did, didn't I?
There you go.
Look at that.
Look at that. It's like a cross between a tank and a submarine and a boat.
We got Ivan.
Crazy Ivan.
Crazy Ivan's going in.
Oh yeah, looks like you put a little metal support there
Yeah,
too.
it had a black brass one that bent, and this is stainless steel. And when it's buzzing out at however fast it's going on the pond,
You don't want to lose.
you don't see this. And you don't want him popping out. Here we go, Crazy Ivan.
Yep, you guys remember that handle actually works to move that thing up and down, and the shutter works as well.
Yep.
So we've had Virginia out. We did a little tweak to the trim. It's looking really good. There was really nothing to see there, so we didn't bother filming it. We paired my transmitter to the Crow, so that's going to be ready to hit the water tomorrow. And now we are going to test the A10 in the big pond. We had to wait a little bit because my underwater camera died. Hopefully it's working. Hopefully it was just dead in the battery and not dead in the camera. But we're going to bring that out here momentarily, so you guys get to check all that out right now.
Look at that. That is awesome.
So this is actually in surface trim. It wants to pull itself down under speed. Which may be interesting. Okay, well, let's dive. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. All right, let's see what that does for us. Well, those nasals don't hurt the turning radius, that's for sure.
No. Nor the speed either. That's a good speed.
Well, this is a third throttle.
That's a third? Okay.
There we go. That's full throttle right there.
Oh, look at that. Eddie Likey. Oh, yeah.
That's pretty darn cool. And this is like no pitch inputs from me whatsoever. Look at that.
And we're running on 900 megahertz.
900 megahertz, yeah.
Okay. You're a good 2, 3 feet, 4 feet, I'd say. 3 feet. That's
I'm
fine.
only running on 100 milliwatts.
Okay. Go out towards the cave and come back at the camera.
I mean, if you were to do this build up right, it'd be super cool to have some, like, orange LEDs in the gun.
Yeah, what? Well, that blink to simulate firing. But also, how about, I don't think the A10s didn't have afterburners. I don't know. I'm not a plane guy. But you could do they do LED afterburners.
Right, yeah.
That is pretty awesome. I'm not a big fan of the Neptune, but this makes me a fan of the Neptune. Look at that. Now again, the modifications are...
It turns around in basically its own body length under the water.
So we are not running on the SLA, right? The seal lead acid.
No, this is a nickel metal hydride pack.
So you got a higher power density in there.
Yeah, double what it was.
You can rock and roll all day long.
Well, I'm satisfied. My rule is if I'm satisfied, it comes out of the water before something breaks.
Bob, stop jinxing yourself. This is a wonderful build. It just took time. It was right. You don't know how many hands it had been through.
Right.
So you fixed all those bugs that it came with. Now that's a fine running boat. Let's get the sub-ed seal of approval.
Well, it's 4 o'clock, day after the test of our A10 sub killer, and I have to say, it was pretty awesome. It was pretty darn awesome. Quick, maneuverable, a ton of fun. It wanted to pull down when it's on the surface under speed. So if you get really on the throttle, it'll, for whatever reason, the hydrodynamics is on it, want to pull it down. So you just got to be a little judicial with your use of the gas pedal there. But I mean, other than that, what a joy, absolute joy to drive, and one of the most unique subs you'll ever find at the pond. I'm gonna get it listed this week, but again, if you haven't got a boat like this and you want one like this, reach out, hit me up. It'll save me listing it. That'd be awesome. Bob at nautilusdrydocks.com. Ed and I are going to get loaded up, getting ready to go to Fitz's fabulous flotilla of fun here in a little bit, and it's going to be pretty awesome. We're going to have Virginia, Crow, and the G5 out there, but you're not going to see it. And there's a reason for that, because I'm going to put it at the beginning of the next video. So you're going to want to make sure you catch it, see if this Virginia finally gets all set up, dialed in, and how the Apu operates. So with that, I'm going to leave you dwelling upon the awesomeness that is to come next week. If you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. Like and subscribe. You know the drill. With that, I'm going to leave you. You have a great rest of your day. And as always, we'll catch you next time.